Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing a professional analyst briefing on Adobe's massive Q1 2026 earnings. And trust me, it's a fascinating story where a huge AI-fueled boom is in a dead sprint against the decline of its older businesses.
All right, before we get into the thick of it, just the usual quick disclaimer, this is all for educational purposes. It is absolutely not financial advice. All the info we're using comes straight from Adobe's public filings. Okay, let's dive right in. Now, on the surface, Adobe's quarter looks amazing. But the real story, the one that truly matters, is this incredible push and pull going on inside the company. You have this explosive AI-powered growth clashing with a surprisingly fast decline of its legacy businesses. So, here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with those big headline numbers. Then we'll peel back the onion to see what's driving the growth. We'll look at how their AI strategy is really hitting its stride, but also the challenge it's creating. And finally, we'll talk about what this all means for the future.
First up, those headline results. And to put it simply, they were really, really strong. In fact, they were record-breaking.
I mean, Adobe just delivered a record-setting first quarter. They blew past what analysts were expecting and posted some seriously impressive growth compared to last year. They pulled in a record revenue of $6.4 billion. And that represents a really powerful 12% year-over-year growth. You know, for a company this size, double-digit growth like that is exactly what investors want to see. And the profitability side of things, just as impressive. Non-GAAP earnings per share landed at $6.06. That's a huge 19% jump. And this was all fueled by a record $2.96 billion in cash flow from operations. That is just an incredible amount of cash for one single quarter. So the big question is, where is all this growth actually coming from? Well, let's dig a little deeper and look at the engine powering these results, their subscription business. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, there's a key term we've got to understand, ARR, or annualized recurring revenue. The easiest way to think about it is like a predictable salary. It's the stable income stream Adobe knows it can count on from all its subscriptions over the next 12 months. For a software company, this is everything. Now, what's so interesting when you look at this is that the growth isn't just coming from one little corner of the business. No, it's strong across the board, from everyday people and business pros all the way up to their biggest, most important enterprise clients. And the numbers here really tell the story. Total subscription revenue for the quarter was $6.17 billion, bringing their total ARR to an incredible $26.06 billion. I mean, just let that sink in. That is a massive, predictable foundation to build on. So, here's the crucial point. We need to understand why this is happening. And the answer is crystal clear. Adobe's gigantic bet on artificial intelligence isn't just a future plan. It is actively supercharging their growth right now. And this is no accident. It's the very core of their strategy. Just listen to their CEO, Shantanu Narayen. He says AI isn't just some new feature, it's a fundamental expansion of their entire company mission. And the proof is right here in the results. The ARR from their AI-first applications, the products built from the ground up around AI, more than tripled year over year. That's not just growth, that's hypergrowth. They're bringing in new users at a breakneck pace. Their freemium strategy, where they give away tools like Firefly and Express for free, is working like a massive funnel, sucking in over 80 million monthly active users. And that user base grew by an incredible 50% in just 1 year. That's a clear signal of massive, widespread adoption of their new AI tools, and it's building a huge base of potential paying customers for the future. And these users aren't just signing up and walking away. They're actually using the tech. Adobe reported record levels of what they call generative credit consumption, which is just their fancy way of saying people are using tools like Firefly to create AI content like crazy. Engagement is absolutely through the roof. But, and this is a really big but, this incredible success in AI comes at a price. It's creating a major headwind for an older, legacy part of Adobe's business. And you've got to give them credit. Adobe's leadership was totally upfront about this on their earnings call. David Wadhwani, the president of their creative division, came right out and admitted that their traditional Adobe stock business is shrinking faster than they thought it would. And this is the other side of that AI coin. It makes perfect sense, right? As millions of creators realize they can generate a unique image with AI in seconds, the need to go license a pre-existing photo from a stock library just starts to fade away.
and that shift is happening way faster than even Adobe planned for.
Okay, so what does all of this mean for the future? Let's take a look at their guidance for next quarter. And then we have to talk about a huge piece of news regarding the company's leadership.
For the second quarter, Adobe's basically saying they expect the good times to keep rolling. They're targeting total revenue between $6.43 and $6.48 billion, which signals that this positive momentum is set to continue.
But honestly, the biggest bombshell was this. CEO Shantanu Narayen, who has led the company for an amazing 18 years, has decided to step down. He's going to stay on as chair of the board to make sure it's a smooth handover while they search for the next leader. It's truly the end of an era. And this all brings us to the one central question for the company and for anyone watching it. This whole quarter has been a story of transition. So, as a new leader gets ready to take the wheel, the billion-dollar question is this. Can Adobe's incredibly powerful AI-driven future keep growing fast enough to more than make up for the accelerated decline of its past? And that's your analyst briefing. Adobe's Q1 is a perfect case study of innovation cannibalizing the past to build the future. For more deep dives that go behind the numbers, you know what to do. Make sure to like and subscribe.